what's up, Internet? I'm Christiane Cordero, and this is the 734 from WCCO. We know most of you are on your way to work, maybe even this Labor Day, or at least about to head out the door. So let's get you started with today's weather. Take a look. It's pretty humid out there, at least it was this morning. But temperatures, as far as those are concerned, they're looking pretty seasonable, I suppose is the right word, throughout the day. 75, 76 is the high in the Twin Cities today. We also understand that there's an enhanced chance of storms later tonight in the Twin Cities. So that's something to keep an eye on. If you have any outdoor plans, then be mindful of that, and maybe just keep an eye on WCCO and on the radar as well. Now let's talk about this. Have you stopped by the WCCO booth at the State Fair this year? If not, you should. And today, as you know, is your last chance. We have been so excited to share a movie we put together called Since We Last Met. It's a behind-the-scenes look at some of the biggest stories over the past year told by WCCO reporters, photographers, engineers, a really behind-the-scenes kind of look. The version you saw at the fair is 20 minutes long. Today, we're broadcasting the full 1-hour version at 4 p.m. on WCCO. But this morning, I want to know what has happened since we last met out at the fair for you. Not necessarily the big stories, right? But maybe a big life change, a new job. I'll give you mine. I bought my first pair of hockey skates since we last met last State Fair. This past winter was my first in Minnesota, and I was all into making it work. So what do you think? Those of you watching on Facebook, leave a comment here. We'll read through a few of those in a moment. The big storm we've been following this morning is Hurricane Durian. It's still a Category 5 storm and is now the strongest ever to make landfall. Look at this video from northern Bahamas. It's really a story about what you can't see, just all of that rain and all of that wind. Durian unleashed 185-mile-per-hour winds. Just look at some of this damage. Roofs ripped off, cars flipped over, debris and flood waters everywhere. Meteorologists still can't tell whether Durian will hit the U.S. for sure, but authorities, they're not waiting to find out.
If you are ordered to evacuate, safety comes first, and you don't want to mess with the storm that is going at 185 miles per hour.
No, definitely don't want to mess with that. Right now, people along the coast of Florida, Georgia, and even the Carolinas are being told to get out with mandatory evacuations. Officials say even if Durian veers back out to sea, the region will still face days of potentially devastating rains and wind. Victims of another mass shooting in Texas were remembered at a vigil last night in Odessa. Investigators say the shooter shot 7 people dead, wounded 22 others after a routine traffic stop on Saturday. The rampage ended when the suspect was killed during a gunfight with police, and among the dead was 29-year-old Mary Granados, a U.S. mail carrier whose vehicle was hijacked by the gunman. Police are still trying to figure out his motive. This morning, actor Kevin Hart is recovering after a scary car crash. New pictures from TMZ overnight show the damage to Hart's 1970 Plymouth Barracuda. The driver rolled into a ditch after turning onto the highway. He and another passenger were trapped inside, and the actor was taken to a nearby hospital with minor injuries. Hart bought the muscle car as a 40th birthday present to himself. Glad he's safe. American Airlines is delaying the return of the Boeing 737 MAX jets. The troubled planes have been grounded since March after 2 deadly accidents aboard. American is canceling about 140 flights per day through December 3rd. The Boeing jets are undergoing a software update to fix the problem. Hey, soccer legends take over Allianz Field today. Later today, we'll hear from the U.S. women's national soccer team ahead of their match against Portugal tomorrow. They've had a busy week making appearances at Target Center with the Lynx last night, and the team tweeted out these pictures. You can see Megan Rapinoe, Jessica McDonald, Samantha Mui. You'll notice some other legends among the group in the green and yellow hat. That's Maddie Frecking, who pitched for Team Minnesota at this year's Little League World Series. Some girl power all around. It's Labor Day. That means it's the final day of the Minnesota State Fair. You might find some good deals out at the fairgrounds today. Many merchandise and food vendors are offering last chance bargains all day long. We appear to be on track to set a new all-time attendance record, too. So far, we've seen 4 daily records, including Friday, when more than 209,000 people packed into the fairgrounds. That broke the old daily record for the second Friday, if you can keep track with that, by more than 20,000 people. At the grandstand, ZZ Top's 50th anniversary tour with special guest Cheap Trick. That show starts at 7 p.m. A new top dog will be crowned tonight at Canterbury Park. Literal dog. Yep, there we go. The Bark in the Park Championship dog races return to the track in Shakopee this afternoon. You've got Basset Hounds, Bulldogs, Corgi, and Wiener dogs. Just, really noble steeds that were built for evolution for sure. Then the top dogs from each race will run in a battle of the breeds race to determine the fastest dog in Minnesota. That's all I have to say about that. Back to today's talker. Let's bring in WCCO's digital guy, Eric. Hey, Eric.
You don't have anything more to say about that.
Well,
Moose?
I know. That's the thing. Moose can be the fastest dog ever if he has some kind of motivation.
There we
but
go.
yeah, enough about Moose. What are people saying about the past year?
We have Annette, who is saying that the most memorable thing was getting all three of her kids together, which doesn't happen terribly often.
Yeah. Good for you, Annette.
And then also Tracy says she bought a house since we last met.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Tracy. That's good for you.
And your own digital guy, Eric, went to Hawaii for the first time.
You did. That's right. You climbed up Haleakala. That's pretty
Exactly.
awesome. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Got to the summit and nearly fainted.
Because of the beauty, not because
Exactly,
of...
all the magnificence.
Yes, definitely. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. So that's it for now. This is the 734 from WCCO, and most of the Twin Cities are on the go, so why not make us your place for mobile news, whether you're heading back from the lake or just headed to work today. We'll be back here tomorrow at 7:34. Until then, be nice to each other out on the internet.